Welcome to this presentation about SNAP appeals. The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, formerly known as food stamps, helps families with low incomes buy food every month with money added on an EBT card. If you believe a mistake was made, you have the right to contact DHS and tell them you think you are eligible and ask them to take another look at your case. This is called filing an appeal. In this video, I will answer important questions about the SNAP appeal process, such as what are SNAP appeals, how to access the appeal form, how to submit an appeal, what are the contents of the form, how to prepare for a hearing, what happens during a hearing, what to expect after a hearing. For more information, go to the Tennessee Department of Human Services Appeals webpage. You can check this webpage for updates in the appeals process. The link is in the video description. The Department of Human Services oversees the SNAP program in Tennessee. An appeal is a process in which you ask a judge to review DHS's SNAP decision and check if a mistake was made in your case. You have the right to file an appeal within 90 days of the date found on the notice of decision. If you are receiving benefits and want to continue to receive benefits while DHS looks at your appeal, you will only have 10 days to file an appeal from the date found on the notice of the decision. Before filing an appeal, try to learn more about the SNAP eligibility requirements to know if DHS's decision was wrong by looking at the DHS SNAP eligibility webpage. The link will be in the video description. The appeal form can be submitted in different ways. To complete the electronic version of the form, type in 1dhs.tn.gov in your preferred web browser. Add your login information to access your account. If you don't have an account, click on Create One here and follow the instructions. Once logged in, scroll down to Access Appeals Dashboard. On this page, you can click the first button to file an appeal, the second button to link an existing appeal, and the third button to upload supporting documents. Alternatively, if you have access to a printer, you can download the form by visiting the Tennessee Department of Human Services Appeals webpage. The questions on the electronic and paper versions of the appeal are the same. If possible, submit the electronic version through your 1DHS portal so that you can track the status of your appeal. Once you have completed the form, you can send it to the Division of Appeals and Hearings by fax to 866-355-6136 or email it to appealsclerksoffice.dhs@tn.gov. Or you can mail it to the Tennessee Department of Human Services Appeals and Hearings Division to the attention of Appeals Clerk's Office, 505 Deirdrick Street, first floor, Nashville, Tennessee 37243. If you don't have access to reliable internet, visit your local county office to complete the appeal form in person, or call your local county office to have a representative assist you in completing the form. The first page of the form talks about the important deadlines, who to send questions to, and where to send appeals. It is really important to read this page. The Program and Reasons section is where you choose the program decision that you are appealing. If you were denied SNAP, you would pick SNAP. When you choose SNAP, you will have the option to choose the reason you think DHS is wrong. For example, you can appeal application timelines, changes in the amount of benefits, overpayment, denied application, termination of benefits, or natural disasters. The text box lets you describe in detail what mistake DHS made. Try to include as many details as possible, including dates, and be very clear about why you think the decision was wrong. In the box marked Continuation of Benefits, you can continue to get benefits until a hearing is made. But if you choose the first option, you may need to pay back these benefits if you lose your case during the hearing. If you choose, I do not want my benefits continued while the hearing decision is pending, you will not get benefits. But if you win your appeal, DHS may provide you with money for the months that you went without benefits if it turns out that you were eligible. In the Case Application and Notice section, you can choose the case number or application number, the notice type, and who is appealing. In the Appellant Information section, you can choose whether you are filing an appeal for yourself or if you are helping someone else appeal. If you are acting as a representative for someone, you must provide your name and contact information. The next page is where you answer basic questions about yourself. 3 important questions to note are the home address, language preference, and head of household information. If you are helping a non-English speaker, you can choose the language they speak to ensure that an interpreter is there at the hearing. Make sure to put the correct phone number because if DHS schedules a telephonic hearing, they will call the number provided on the application. Make sure to put the most up-to-date address as DHS will mail information about your appeal to that address. If you don't feel comfortable talking in front of a judge, you can have someone there who can speak on your behalf. In the representative/attorney summary, you can add a person who can represent you during your hearing. Your representative does not need to be an attorney. It can be a friend, neighbor, family member, coworker, etc. After reading all the sections again, you will give a signature and submit your appeal. Once you submit an appeal, DHS has 60 days to process your appeal, schedule a hearing, and give you a decision. In the meantime, collect any information that will help you prove your case. Here are some good things to do. If there are changes to your address or phone number, make sure to tell the appeals department as soon as possible. Take screenshots of your call log whenever DHS calls you and write down your conversations. When you submit documents in person at a DHS office, always ask for a submission receipt. Do not throw away any notices you have received. At least 10 days before your hearing, you will receive a notice of hearing. Most people also receive an evidence packet. The notice of hearing provides the date, time, and whether the hearing is over the phone or in person. The evidence packet has all the actions taken by DHS and any paperwork that was submitted during your case. If you did not receive your evidence packet, you must ask the appeals department for it. If you believe that there is additional evidence that is not included in the evidence packet, you can submit the missing paperwork to the appeals department before the hearing. The hearing process should be the same whether it is in person or by phone. First, the judge will introduce themselves. Next, they will introduce the representatives from DHS, which will include a caseworker and occasionally an attorney. Lastly, they will introduce you, the appellant. The judge will then talk about the rules for the hearing, including the order of who speaks. The judge will usually let the DHS attorney speak first. If the attorney is not there, then the judge will let the DHS caseworker speak first. To better understand the facts and key issues or issue, the judge or the DHS attorney will have the DHS caseworker go over the evidence packet from beginning to end. After the caseworker reviews the facts and issues, the DHS attorney, if present, may ask the caseworker specific questions related to the case, such as how certain values were calculated or why certain verifications may have been requested. The judge will then give you a chance to ask the caseworker questions. If you do not have questions, then the judge will allow you to present your witnesses and/or evidence. Judges will usually only allow witnesses or evidence to be presented if it was previously sent to DHS appeals prior to the hearing, but they have flexibility to allow the introduction of evidence on the day of the hearing as well. After you present your evidence, the judge will ask their own questions and then give each side an opportunity to provide closing remarks. At the end of closing remarks, the judge will thank everyone for participating and then end the hearing. The judge will then give a decision known as the initial order. This can take a week or longer depending on the complexity of the case. If you disagree with the initial order, you have 15 days to file for reconsideration. After an initial order has become a final order, you have 45 days to request judicial review if you do not agree with the final order. Filing appeals can be hard. If you need help filing an appeal or need representation, please contact the Tennessee Justice Center at 615-255-0331 or contact your local legal aid society.